ask questions later.
I mean, I still think it's debatable, even with what we've seen. You know, if you had seen this guy whose friends killed all your friends and he said, I will kill.
Yes.
It's still okay. Logical to me that, all right, well, we're going to have to get rid of you.
Yes.
I have a question for you guys. When Sam was being eaten, I had this moment of when like Jesse started getting eaten too, and then Ron, right? That's her, their son.
Mm-hmm.
And they all got killed. I had this moment of, well, it's probably better that they're all killed so they don't all have to be, one of them or two of them don't have to be grieving.
Mm-hmm.
I just kept thinking of, like, as I'm watching, Rick and Carl and then Jesse and her kids, I just kept thinking, I can't help but think about like, my relationship with my kids and just how I would how you would be in those situations. Yeah. Like if I saw my kid get eaten by a zombie, I would probably just want to die
Jump
right
in
there and not even have to live. Like, I think, parents can feel that they're like, I would rather die than have to live, seeing my kid, so I wonder if it was just better that they all died just so they wouldn't have to, grieve.
That's why you can sort of excuse anything that Carol does. Well, most people just love her, but she's lost her child. So.
Yeah. She's gone kind of nutty. But can I also, I saw on some of the message boards that people were kind of upset at seeing that adorable little Sam die.
I thought that was pretty risky to show a kid.
It was. And I think that they're going to lose some viewers.
Nah.
Really?
Well, what was the very first scene of The Walking Dead? It was Rick shooting a little girl. It was a zombie.
We didn't see her turn.
That's true.
He's the first kid we've ever seen die.
Well, what about Mika and Lizzie?
Yeah.
We didn't see him die, though.
We saw Lizzie
and
get shot in the head.
Well, we saw Sophia as a zombie.
Well, I don't think we ever saw her get shot.
We just heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So this was there he is getting ripped apart in front of our eyes.
Yeah, they didn't. They showed the zombies converge on him. They did, but they pulled away. But I mean, they didn't. It wasn't like when Noah died. It wasn't.
Yeah,
like
I don't know. There was a lot of blood, and in fact,
Yeah?
I think
Okay.
I think Nicotero talked about they got special dentures for him that were blood filled. So when he wrote down, blood would spurt out.
Right.
I think. That
Do
was
you think that was like? Did that make you wish they hadn't shown that?
I was talking with David about this, in fact, because I mentioned that to him, and what got me off of Game of Thrones is seeing.
Don't do spoilers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
but yeah, I
right.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So we saw something similar on Game of Thrones. And so I said, I'm feeling sort of like a hypocrite because I'm not more disturbed seeing Sam. And David said,
well, no, it's way different.
That's what he said.
Monsters, zombies who are mindless, like
Right.
if a lion had killed Sam or something.
Right.
And that would have been awesome. Just kidding.
Right,
Yeah,
But
I get, right? Yeah.
Nobody likes to see something bad happen to a child.
No.
Yeah.
Unless you're a freak.
I'm not saying, well, you know what? I don't want to see a child get eaten, but when a full-size person does, that's awesome. It's horrible. It's all horror.
Horrible. And it's all
thrilling.
it's all cartoony, and we all know that it's cartoony, and it's the actor is just fine. He's adorable. I just saw him, and he wears glasses.
He's okay.
He likes to go antiquing. I mean,
children were harmed.
It's
in the filming of
okay,
this.
but I still don't. Do I need to fill my headspace with things happening to bad things happening to little kids? And it's a problem with me.
You better not read the comic then.
Done.
It's way worse.
Yeah.
Talk about Fracture. Fracture's back as a sponsor. One of our favorite sponsors. Fracture, in case you don't know, is your photos printed on a little pane of glass. It can be little, can be big. You can get different size. Yeah. And it's really beautiful. I love this product in this company because it's one product. It's simple, it's very beautiful, and it's personal to you. So you take one of your memories or your beautiful photos and you just turn it into this little work of art that you can put up on your wall. You upload your digital photo and then they send it to you. They're focused on making a great product, and then everything around it, the packaging, the way that you upload your photo, and you can do little editing things, and the website is very nicely put together. They just have great attention to detail, and they're this small company in Gainesville, Florida, and they're good people, and so I feel good about having them as sponsors. And everyone of our listeners who has gotten one of these, I've only heard good things. Like, for example, you got some, right, Jessica?
Yes, I am a big Fracture fan. I heard about Fracture on your podcast actually and have gone on to order a lot of Fractures, and I like them for a couple different reasons. So I like getting pictures printed because, you know, you delete them from your smartphone and you don't always look at your folders on the computer. But when you get pictures printed, sometimes like you know, the actual photo paper gets faded or gets damaged or gets, you know, wrinkled and eaten by your children. Where if you put it in a frame, you know, if you change the style of your house, the frame, like if it's wood, or it goes out of style. But Fractures are always in style. Like you're never gonna, you know, they're just plain glass and they look really, really nice. And elegant. And yes, they're very elegant. I'm a big fan.
Yay. So you guys can go to fractureme.com and we have a new code is ZHEAD, ZEDHEAD, and you get 10% off. And it'd be awesome if you guys would send us the pictures that you get fracturized, and, you know, or if you gave it as a gift, let us know how people responded. Thank you, Fracture, for your support.
Obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens.
The people it kills get up and kill.
Are they slow moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is a Walking Dead Cast news update.
Okay, few of you have been asking. I'm going to Walker Stalker Con London. I'm leaving in a couple of days here, but it's next weekend. And if you're going to be there, there's going to be a meetup with me and other Walking Dead Cast listeners Saturday at 6 p.m. at the Society Bar and Restaurant in the Olympia Hilton Hotel. Woo! And I'll put that in the show notes too. It's a 5-minute walk from the convention center, which is the Olympia Convention Center. So 6 p.m. Saturday, Society Bar and Restaurant, Olympia Hilton Hotel.
Are you going to do the thing where it's sort of the live feed?
The Periscope?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Do
maybe.
the Periscope so I can watch.
If it's, yeah, maybe. We'll see. Yeah. You'll probably be at 6 p.m. there, so that means it's going to be, I think, 10 a.m. here. No.
Oh.
10 a.m. sounds fine.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
It's going to be way too late.
Yeah. It's going to be way too late.
I'm going to be asleep by then.
So come, even if you're just by yourself, it'll be fun to have a drink and get to know me and some of the other Deadcast listeners.
He's great. You'll love him. Take my word for it.
We're now a featured podcast on the newly launched fanfest.com.
Cool.
Along with the Walker Stalkers podcast, solo sessions with Dave Solo, and Ming and Mike show with Ming Chen and Mike Zapsik from Comic Book Men. The plans for more Podcastica podcasts to be featured on there as time goes on. Fanfest.com is this entertainment site with news and articles put together by FanFest, which is James's company. We do Walker Stalker Con and FanFest. So now we're a media presence online too. So it's kind of cool. So in celebration, we're giving away 2 VIP tickets to any Walker Stalker Con or FanFest this year. So just go check out fanfest.com and then write to me at brains@podcastica.com and tell me why you think you should win the tickets in 50 words or less. And I'll announce a winner next week. So do that as soon as you hear this if you want the tickets. Next, Telltale announced that the first of the 3 episodes of their Walking Dead Michonne game is coming out on February 23rd on PC, Mac, and PS4 and PS3, and then February 24th on Xbox One and Xbox 360, and February 25th for iOS and Android. So the first episode is called Into Deep, and then it's going to be followed by a second and third episode. The whole thing is $15, $14.99. It's voiced by Samira Wiley from Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
Which character is she in? Oh, you were just going to say that.
Poussey?
Yeah, Poussey.
Is that how you say it?
Poussey.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, she's
You like
great.
that show, Jessica?
I love that show, but
Yeah.
I can't picture her.
She's the
African-American, short hair.
yeah,
beautiful.
lesbian, right?
Yeah, and she's just fabulous.
And
Cool.
she plays Michonne in the game.
Oh, perfect.
So it's cool. It takes place in the comic book continuity, and there was a period in between episode. Well, Michonne was not in the comic from number 126 to 139, so and you can find out what happened to her there. Maybe if you play it wrong, she died. That'll probably happen. You can see the first 5 minutes of the game on Telltale's YouTube channel, and I'll put a link in the show notes. Okay, a couple more. So Scott Gimple did an interview on Entertainment Weekly. They said, was there ever any scenario once you cast Alex Breckenridge as Jesse that the character was going to survive after this point? He says, I would say anything is possible, but no. So I guess they kind of knew right away that they were going to go with the comic book story. About Carl getting shot in the eye, he said, what happened with Carl is so transformative to his character. And then he goes on, Andrew Lincoln came to Greg and I separately and then together asking if he could start having scars. And scars cost a little bit of time, and this is a show that we need every second and then some. But Andy was right. These characters are going to start carrying their scars, and that time to put those on his face every morning is worth it because that's who the character is. And the same thing with Carl. I think that's good.
Yeah.
They should have their scars.
Yeah, they should. They're battle worn at this point.
And then he says, I just want to say this as publicly as possible to how great Chandler Riggs is with all of it. I mean, it's a drag to have one of your eyes covered up all the time. It's a drag. It's far less of a drag than losing your eye, of course, but the way that Chandler's doing it and dealing with it is incredible. And it would be tough, man, to do that. You lose your 3D vision.
Well, I wonder if they put like a tiny little pinhole for him to look through.
That would probably be a good idea if it...
I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know.
How will we ever know? Well, it's not like you ever interview them or anything.
I'm going to write that down. Pinhole.
Pinhole.
Question mark.
Eye
and then
patch.
I'll be like up on stage. It just says pinhole here. I was going to ask you something about a pinhole. And then lastly, there's a good article on Hollywood Reporter showing how they did Carl's eye. They made a bust of his head that looked really real. I think that was for when he was laying in the bed. But they also digitally imposed it on his eye when he was moving around, so it looked like it was recessed in his eye.
And they created this life cast also because Andrew Lincoln had to carry him in so many takes, and so they made a lighter version of
interesting.
him. Yeah, they talked about that on the Talking Dead last night.
Cool. So they have a lot of pictures on this site, so I'll put a link in the show notes.
They can make a life cast that looks exactly like the person. A couple of years ago when I went to the set and I was a zombie, I had a little time to kill, and in the field, one of the other zombies noticed there was a Greg Nicotero zombie life. I'm sorry, Greg Nicotero life cast. And I looked at this Greg Nicotero life cast, and man, it is him. It was so spooky. Yeah, you look into the eyes, and the eyes are glass, and they're perfect. And every little hair is individually placed, and it looked like Greg Nicotero was looking into my head. It was so weird. Yeah,
I'm getting a Maggie one to put on.
Jenny's gonna love that. Every marriage needs that.
All right, that's it for the news. Let's move on to listener moans, groans, grunts.
Right.
This is what you guys thought of this episode. You want to go first, Jessica?
Sure. Josh.
I did not do that on purpose. Vizhanovich.
I'm so sorry, Josh.
Josh,
He's used to it.
It was everything comic fans could hope for, definitely worth any shortcomings we found in episode 608.
Larry Blake says, great episode, top 15 all time.
That was pretty much the consensus. So most people liked it. One person said meh, but everyone else liked it. Joy Lee said, the first half of season 6 was so disappointing, but now I'm all in. This episode had everything, including the signature feeling The Walking Dead has when it's at its finest.
Sue Ellen Smith said, totally loved the beginning and really enjoyed the episode, but I still feel Rick is too emotional and impulsive, even dangerously so, to be on a major leader role. All his plans seem to turn to crap.
Yeah.
Olivia Deck writes, Michonne giving Carl a forehead kiss before going outside to help Rick kick some ass was the sweetest thing ever.
Yes.
God, it was.
Tim Goldman says, finally, such a great episode and awesome way to tie everything together from the first half of the season. Love the homage to the comics, starting with the fates of Jesse, Sam, Ron, and Carl. And then we see Rick motivating the Alexandrians to fight for themselves. Fire, explosions, zombies. What more do we need?
Mr. D said, best in a long time, but would they really only send one guy with Daryl? And would that be 100% noiseless? I agree, Mr. D.
Yep. Yep. Ryan Drojmuller says, I was hoping they'd give Jessie a longer arc than she had in the comics because she has been fleshed out so much more. I was also surprisingly disappointed when Carol killed the wolf. I didn't expect to feel that way. Yeah, neither did I.
You were disappointed too?
When he
When she
died?
did,
Yeah, a little bit. I was like, oh, wait, no, he's better now.
yeah.
Probably not. Yeah.
Megan Diley Lemon said, I am relieved that an entire family and Carl's eye were the only ones killed. Oh, and who the hell gives the baby to the village idiot? Rick wouldn't even let Gabriel go on a hunting party a few episodes ago, and now he hands her Judith.
Here, keep this. The swarm of zombies right there. Go ahead and walk through it with my baby.
Can I just say something that I've been thinking, and I haven't said it yet. Every time we talk about Judith. So do you ever wonder if when Rick does something that slightly risks Judith's life, it's because he think it might be Shane's baby?
No!
Subconsciously?
Wow.
No. I don't think so.
Wow. Now I'm gonna.
I didn't want to go there, but that's what the podcast is for.
That's funny.
That's dark, man.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just kidding. Okay, what's next? I'm gonna ask. I'll ask Andrew Lincoln that.
Yeah, ask Andrew Lincoln that. We suspect it's because secretly inside you think it's Shane's baby.
Listener Jessica Rose has a question.
He's really cold-hearted. Daniel Diaz says the Walking Dead episode was really good. I still think a major character needs to die as it is becoming too predictable. New characters, love interest, etc. usually die first. Glenn has more lives than a cat. I believe is the next major character that needs to bite it, or in this case, get bit.
Bloodthirsty.
Yeah. You know what? I don't want anyone to die, but that's a pretty good point. Lauren Marie says, loved it. Interesting arc for Carol's decisions. Scarring Sam so bad he got his whole family killed, and then killing the wolf who was changing into an okay guy. Kind of spun it on its head the notion of who is making the right decisions. In the end, Morgan was right. Carol was too quick to kill and scare, too, and frighten little kids.
Maureen, I'd say that's debatable, but Maureen Favo says, where were they going with the Carol Morgan conflict? I mean, they both ended up killing the wolf. Why is Morgan so sure Carol will not kill him? Because Rick would exile her? Well, when Carol said, I'm going to kill you, or I should have killed you, and Morgan said, you won't do that, that I should have put that on my list of people I thought was just about to die. I was like, don't turn your back right now, dude.
She don't put it across.
Syra Small says, what a slow burn for Seth Gillam's character of Father Gabriel. I loved him in The Wire and kept hoping more would transpire than Father Gabriel acting like a little bitch, and boy did it. It gave me chills when he spoke to the Alexandrians.
And finally, Maria Angel Diaz says, I've never been so happy to see a whole family killed.
Oh, and people don't like that family, I guess.
Well, that's kind of like what I was thinking. I'm not happy to see them killed, but I guess I'm happy that they all died
together. But they all died.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. All go down together.
All right, let's do some calls. There's lots of calls this week, so if we can't play them all, if we didn't play yours, then I hope you guys just try again next time. But we appreciate you all calling in. So first one is Harv from Santa Rosa.
Jason, Karen, this is Harv up in Santa Rosa.
Hey, Harv.
Unequivocally, my favorite Walking Dead episode of all time. The right people died. There was a lot of near misses. Just when you think somebody was going to get their butt bitten, like Rick or even Glenn, when you thought they were going to eat it, they got saved or helped. It was great. An absolutely amazing episode. And Karen, no complaints about the death. We didn't like Jesse. We didn't like Ron, and we definitely did not like that little punk. Anyway, looking forward to the show and the rest of the season for The Walking Dead. See you guys.
No complaints here, Harv.
Karen's happy about the death.
I did a little jig. You didn't see me, but I did a little chair dance right here. Here, I'll do it again. There, I just did it.
Next is... Who is next? Anonymous.
Hey, guys. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Holy crap. Holy crap. Unbelievable. I mean, I saw some spoilers about the Carl thing, so whatever, but when the Alexandrians all stepped up and were out there fighting with Rick and the end. Holy crap. Great episode. Great episode. All right, guys. Thanks. Bye.
I love that call, except that there was no zombie sound, but otherwise.
And no name. I shall name you Betty.
Thanks, Betty. And then there's one more. This is Idris.
Yay.
Hey, what's up, Jason and Karen? It's Idris.
Hey, Idris.
And, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because I listened to another Walking Dead podcast that they had a script that kind of ruined some of the main
don't listen
plot
to them.
points of this episode for me. I don't know what it is, or maybe it's from me watching shows like The Leftovers.
Oh, that's so good.
Better Call Saul. They have superb writing.
Don't
that
watch
I'm
those
a little
shows.
upset. I don't know. But this episode is kind of getting on my nerves. First off, they didn't start off where they left off with the whatever the kid.
Sam.
I don't even know his name. Sam. He's Sam. Mom. I was hoping things were going to just go off around, but no, they just show Rick and them just walking off into this little enclave of trees and having a little conversation. And I'm just like, so those zombies are going into this little area that you guys just went off to the side. It doesn't make any sense. It just seems like people are just hiding amongst the zombies and having conversation. And then the wolf,
like a cocktail party.
Wolf, it really annoyed me. The whole scene where Sam started to freak out, get eaten, Jesse get eaten, and Rick hacking his hand off. That was pretty cool. But like I said, I saw it coming, and then the whole thing with Ron getting shot, and I don't know, man. I just found this episode a little underwhelming because I was expecting things to go a little different. The one thing I did like the most was Daryl being badass as usual, blowing up Negan's group. That was fun, but I don't know. Maybe, like I said, probably because I got the plot ruined for me. And it might be because I watch shows with better plots, with better writing and things. I don't know.
You shouldn't be watching those.
I'll give this episode 2.5 brains, I guess. But whatever. I'll talk to you guys later.
I love Idris so much.
Yeah. Just keep watching anyway so you can keep calling in to us.
Please just keep calling in because I love him. Oh, so great.
All right, that's it for feedback. Thanks, you guys. Now let's talk about our final sponsor, Texture. So I am a total news junkie, too much. I spend way too much time on my iPad surfing the net, reading articles, and I like to catch up. But reading those articles, a lot of them aren't very well written or they're not entertaining. They're just, you get some news. But the most in-depth, entertaining, well-written writing is still in the magazines at this point. It's the premium content. And if you really want to delve into a subject or be entertained, then if you get Texture on your iPad. Texture gives you instant access to hundreds of magazines, all the big ones that you know. And if you have gotten away from magazines or you didn't want to pay for a bunch of subscriptions or whatever, you can come back and rediscover all these magazines that you loved. For one low price, you get access to all of them. So the way it works, if you guys have heard me talk about this maybe and you haven't tried it yet, maybe you haven't really pictured it, but the way it works is there's a grid of magazine covers with the latest cover of the magazine in a grid, little thumbnails. You can scroll through. You see like Newsweek, Entertainment Weekly, Men's Health, Forbes, Macworld, Rolling Stone, New Yorker, just to literally name a few. And you just tap on any cover, all of a sudden it expands to fill the screen of your tablet or phone, and then you can start flipping through and reading it. So it's like magic, really.
It really
it's really
is.
cool.
It's great. I used it on my flight to and from Maui.
Yeah, you said you were going to download a bunch of them.
I did. I downloaded like over 50 issues.
Wow.
Because I went and I got some back issues of some magazines. In fact, one back issue, Outside Magazine is a great magazine. They end up having really terrific adventure articles, which are really fun. And I got this back issue about Everest, the making of Everest, the movie, a movie I liked that came out last year. And it was so fun reading about the making of Everest. And then I flipped through and they had this true crime article about the Appalachian Trail. And I love true crime. I was so happy. I was like, you know what? This, as far as I was concerned, the flight could go on as long as I was reading my issues in texture.
And you didn't need internet access, right? You can
No.
have offline reading if you download it ahead of time.
Yeah, which I did. And so I had all 50 magazines in one tiny, tiny little iPad. It's the smartest thing to carry, and it's so entertaining. So I love my texture subscription.
That's cool. Well, you can get a subscription too. If you sign up right now, you'll have access to all this content. Plus, they have some exclusive content in seconds. And the very best part is that Texture's offering Walking Deadcast listeners a free trial right now when you go to texture.com/deadcast. So you can try Texture for free right now when you go to texture.com/deadcast. And thanks to Texture, I really enjoy that sponsor, and it's one of the products that I use just about every day.
Thanks, Texture.
All right, now it's time for Comic Talk with Grace and Mr. Blog, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they say about this one because there's a lot of stuff right out of the comics. So take it away, guys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of Comic Talk. Grace, so happy to have both of us back for this one.
Yeah, so nice to be back, and what a great episode to start out with.
No kidding. And I gotta say, episode 9 here, which I love the fact they titled it No Way Out. So it's like, okay, there you go. Totally. There's that arc. So how do things compare with the comic? Well, everything you and I hoped for the season finale or half season finale came true in this wonderful, wonderful comic-rich episode of The Walking Dead.
We had to be very patient and wait for it, but we finally got it, and wow, it played out amazingly.
It really did. I mean, and yeah, of course, there are going to be little differences here and there. The comic doesn't have anything to do with rocket-propelled grenades or any Glenn and Enid stuff, obviously. But let's talk about the Rick, Jesse, Ron, Carl, and Sam scenario, which, as we left in that last episode a couple months ago, they're all going out there covered in goo, and we all remember Sam going, Mom. Now, interestingly enough, it didn't start off immediately after that, right? I kind of thought it was going to be instantaneous, but they drew it out a little bit. But boy, it really did play out the same way, didn't it?
It did, but I did like the little difference, how they incorporated Carol's little chat with Sam into it,
right.
which of course we don't get that in the comic, but that was a nice added little bit there that I enjoyed.
And of course, so let's go ahead. So we got the Sam, he starts getting mowed on by the zombies, still holding on to Jesse. Jesse's not letting go. She starts getting mowed on by zombies, still not letting go of Carl. And I thought this was an interesting technique used in the show to have Rick kind of going through all those flashbacks of his memories of Jesse to show his torment over this. Because in the comic, I got to say, this is one of those things.
He just lopped it right off without hesitation.
No. There was a look. There was hesitation because in the book, there is a look. And Adlar did a great job of this, of showing Rick like just going like, oh, fuck, I can't believe I'm doing this, and then just chop, chop, chop. And of course, it was a bigger deal in the book because Rick doesn't have his hand either. So I think there was a, oh crap, really? I'm going to chop off somebody's hand? I know what that's like. So that happened, though, just perfectly the way we expected. Carl was freaking out appropriately, but not in the way maybe somebody who would be younger was. Sure. They aged him up a little bit. And I loved the tweak to having it be Ron who shoots him as opposed to Douglas. As opposed to Douglas/Deanna.
Yeah, it worked out. That worked out really well. And how he was originally aiming for Rick.
Yeah.
And it went a bit askew when Michonne took him down.
Oh, Michonne did. I thought it was a zombie that got him, but you're right. It was Michonne, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe it was Michonne. But the whole dad, that just played out.
They got that, yeah.
Oh, so perfectly. Yeah. It's like that came on and I could just see that panel right there. It was great.
Oh, for sure. Did you? Now, I didn't. Okay, first of all, I'm sorry. I'm getting excited here. First of all, did you actually expect they were going to go through with it?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay,
I think so.
Because really, the first reaction of my household last night was, "Holy fuck, they did it!" That was the kind of the first reaction was. We weren't sure. I mean, I got maybe a little spoiled because I saw a Russian advertisement for The Walking Dead this season. It did show Carl with the eye badge, or not eye patch, but the bandage over his eyes. So I did have that little hint. Now, at the same time, when all that was going down, I got really nervous because I knew Dr. Denise Cloyd was not in her office. So I'm like, oh, is this going to go down differently? But they resolved that, and she ended up back in the infirmary. I like that. Now, I do have somebody staying with me right now at my house, and he was watching this last night, and he thought, there's no way Carl could be alive after that. I'm like, no, they did a very careful job of making sure, and I showed him the original picture. He's like, no, nobody could survive that. Like, they did a very careful job in the book making sure it was a survivable wound. Spoilers, by the way, but I think anybody listening to us knows what happens, and Carl does live. And it didn't seem it was quite as traumatic and
exactly
as it was in the comic.
You can't,
Denise,
you can't do that.
No, and Denise handily stitched him up, and it seemed like he's doing very well, very quickly. Actually, very quickly. He does come to a lot faster than he does in the book. However, and following all of that, as far as comparison to the comics go, oh my God, Rick and everybody taking out all the zombies. How fucking cool was that?
I loved it. And I loved Gabriel getting out there and helping as well, which kind of brought to mind something more recent, but I guess we shouldn't really talk about that. But
no, let's not talk about that.
That was great seeing everybody out there and Alexandria
even
just
Eugene
working
saying
together.
Well, even Eugene saying this is something people are going to talk about, and I want to be part of this. Yeah. Him understanding the, shall we say, the historical significance of their group finally banding together and wiping out all of these.
They are finally one group.
Yeah.
They're now one group.
I really felt it. And I got to say, I think they did a fantastic job in the show, because I remember even in the book, I got excited at this point. I was like, yeah, and that's not an easy thing to do in a comic book, to get yourself like really revved up and going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But that happened with that one. I remember when that was happening in the comic, it was so exciting to see everybody banding together and risking their own lives to help Rick. And as you say, to be one group, one community.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the show handled it very deftly, very well.
Indeed.
A bit of a cop, not a cop out. That's not a nice way to put it. But the whole fire and then rocket propelled grenade and the sea of gas, but whatever, it worked. It was great for the show. I think it was great for the show. I'm not going to knock it. There was always something I liked about the fact that it was just Rick and company just plowing through zombie after zombie. I was kind of hoping to see them surrounded. Remember in the book, you see them kind of surrounded by a mountain of zombies that they've killed. Now this had it kind of spread out nicely throughout the whole streets and everything, like they'd been moving, but they weren't really moving. Well, they were moving actually.
Yeah,
they were
moving
as they were coming.
Sure.
It was pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
It's great to see Eric
I don't
again.
have any complaints. Yes, we saw Eric. We saw Olivia.
Olivia was there. Aaron again. I mean, we saw all of the even douchebag Spencer was there.
Yeah, we got a lot of Spencer actually, or a decent amount.
We even saw Heath again. It's been so long since we'd see Heath.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to see everybody. It was nice to see everyone banding together, fighting together. I thought it was great the way the editing was done with those quick edits back and forth, as getting faster and faster and faster as they were getting faster. And of course, we cannot go and neglect Rick's hatchet. Rick's iconic hatchet was finally in action. And that
nice
just tickled me pink.
Yeah.
Oh, it really was. It really, really was. So I can't wait to see how they're going to, I mean, we know how this is all going to play out. We've got a larger world coming up. I'm very excited. We're going to get to meet some new characters very soon.
Indeed.
Oh my God. Look, we can't finish this up without mentioning, of course, the very opening of the episode. Now, it ended very differently, of course, with the whole Negan's group thing, right?
Sure. We kind of mentioned it last time where they mentioned
we did, but we need to
everything.
mention it again that, yes, that is kind of similar to what does happen in the book, that a group of Negan's men show up. Rick is like, fuck you guys, and they kill everyone. Now, I think it does happen a little later.
Yeah, but they quickly dispatch, I think, everybody except one, right?
Except one. And Rick sends one person back to Negan
As
to
a
say,
messenger.
we're not taking your shit.
Exactly.
They didn't bother with it this time. This was just blow everybody up, and you see chunks of meat everywhere. And I'm like, oh, crap.
That was fun. I have to say, I did not expect that. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So I enjoyed that as well.
Very good.
Great episode.
Great episode, yes.
So wonderful to be back on the Walking Dead cast. I'm looking forward to this next half season. You and I know what we have coming up. Jason knows what we have coming up. Karen does not.
Good stuff.
It's always
though.
kind of always a fun little element knowing that, the smugness of knowing what's happening for the most part.
Well, yeah, that we think. I don't know. There could be some big changes. We'll see.
There could be massive changes, but we know some casting. We know some people who will most certainly be in the show. But we're not going to talk about that now. That's too spoilery. We're going to wait till it actually finally unfolds on the show. And until then, what do you say we close this out?
Yeah, let's do.
Okay. Well, folks, great to be back. Welcome back to season 6.5. We hope we're going to be back for next week. We don't know at this point. So maybe we'll be on sporadically over the next eight episodes. Maybe we'll be on every episode. We'll see. But until then, take care. See you, everyone.
Bye.
All right, we're back. Thanks, Mr. Blog and Gracie Lou. Now it's time for next week on The Walking Dead.
So next week on The Walking Dead, Season 6, Episode 10, the title is The Next World, and the description is, a seemingly simple scavenging run proves to be very tricky when our group isn't the only one vying for an unexpected supply gold mine. Dun, dun, dun. Directed by Carrie Skoglund, who has done plenty of episodes of all kinds of television shows, including Fear the Walking Dead. She directed 2 of those episodes. And writers listed are Angela Kang, who we know and love, and Corey Reed. So
cool,
reliable. Should be a great episode.
Looks like a Rick and at least part of it, Daryl buddy episode.
Road trip,
which is cool.
Get your Skittles, and your Doritos, and you hit the high trail. There was a little Next Week on The Walking Dead vignette that featured Eugene talking to Rick and Daryl.
And Daryl, he's showing him the map.
Yeah, here's some agricultural stores, and I recommend getting sorghum. And that will really, go a long way to solving
There's
our
all these long
problems.
pauses where Daryl's just like looking at him awkwardly.
Like, really?
Yeah.
You're really telling us to go get sorghum?
He's like, all right, cool.
Do you remember in Cheers when Woody got a shipment of sorghum by mistake and
No.
he put it out instead of peanuts, and he's like, it'll make your coat nice and shiny.
I love that show.
Yeah, that's the great Woody.
There's a couple segments from the interviews that I pulled for the news that related more to this, so I kept them until now. But they asked Kirkman, looking ahead, big Daryl and Rick reunion, what can you say about that? He says, I can say it's possibly the most fun episode that we've had, just seeing those two guys together. It's almost like a Lethal Weapon episode. It's a lot of fun. So that's cool.
Woo!
I guess that's good enough. All right, before we end, like I mentioned at the top of the show, I want to just talk about this game really quick. It's called Firewatch. The reason why I'm reviewing it is because it's done by this studio called Campo Santo. It's their very first game, but 2 of the leads of this game, they're a very small independent game company, are Sean Vanneman and Jake Rodkin, who worked on The Walking Dead Season 1, and I interviewed them on this podcast a while ago. And they're great writers. They work with Melissa Hutchison, then they left Telltale to start their own company. So I've been following them, waiting to see their first game. And this game is a mystery set in the Wyoming wilderness. Your name is Henry. You go there to take a job in one of those Firewatch towers.
Yeah.
And it's very isolated. You have to hike in. It's almost Lostian because you're very isolated, and it's beautiful. All these landscapes, and there's a cave that Jenny saw, and she thought it was really accurate.
Yeah.
And you follow trails, and you don't have a gun. You have a walkie-talkie, and you talk to your dispatcher, and you start to develop a relationship with her.
Yeah.
And you can choose what kind of a relationship is based on what you decide to say.
Ooh.
And it's very adult, like mature. There's they casually cuss like you and I do.
Yeah.
And it's more about, I mean, there's something going on in this guy's life that's kind of sad. So it's a little bit melancholy.
Yeah.
It's like a literary novel, really. It's like you're playing a literary novel, and it's beautiful colors. Plus it's got this whole mystery element.
Yeah.
And it starts to feel like kind of a mind fuck. Like you're not sure exactly what's real or not.
Oh,
and then by the end of it, though, I found it really satisfying.
What platform is it on?
It's on PlayStation and the Mac and PC, I think. And it's short. It's I think it's a $20 game. They're not paying me to advertise this, by the way. I'm just talking about it because I played it and I really liked it, and I thought you guys might want to hear about it because it had something to do with The Walking Dead. The voice actors, the main character is played by Rich Sommer, who played Harry Crane in Mad Men.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But he's not a jerk like Harry Crane was.
Yeah.
And he's a nice guy. And then Sissy Jones plays the dispatcher. She's a friend of Melissa's.
Oh, cool.
And she was Katja in The Walking Dead.
Huh.
So, and then the way they, I read recently, in most voiceover, each actor records their lines in isolation.
Uh-huh.
And I always thought that was weird because you'd want the back and forth.
Right.
That's how they did it here. They recorded together. I mean, they were actually on Skype, but they had more natural conversations.
Awesome.
So it's really good. I think you'd love it because it's very much about wilderness and being out.
I'm gonna do it.
Maybe want to go camping.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and David should check it out. I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Okay. Do you ever play games, Jessica? You probably don't have time, huh? Yeah, you're not the type.
I know I don't. I mean, my husband Jamie plays games. So
really?
He,
oh, okay.
God, I can't remember the game that he played. I'm drawing a blank, but he hasn't had time in the past 3 years either. So.
I know.
Maybe I'm going to make him listen to this episode, so maybe we'll get that game.
Jenny doesn't play games, but I got her to sit and watch me play through this, and we found time to watch because it's fairly short. I think it was like 5 hours total. We watched the whole thing together, and it was a nice little bonding experience, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
all right, that's our show, episode 207. Thanks for listening, everybody, and thank you, Jessica, for coming on. I hope you had a good time.
thanks. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Thanks so much.
You're really good.
Yeah, you're great, Jessica. Thank you so much.
So, do you want to talk about like where people can find out more about what you do?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys liked me or want to contact me,
you want to be
go
interviewed or
yeah, well my blog is at Jessica Rhodes, RHODES, jessicarhodes.biz. So if you go there, then there's links to all my other sites. I have my own
your
podcast.
podcast. Yeah, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I have two podcasts. I have one called Roads to Success, and it's a weekly business show. And then I have a show called The Podcast Producers, which, Jason, you were on. And
yeah, that's an amazing thing you're doing there. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, Corey and I are getting ready to do the second season of that. Nice. So we're going to be playing that soon. And it's about the art and business of podcasting. So if you're interested in podcasts, that's at thepodcastproducers.com.
Very cool.
It's really good because they interview a bunch of podcasters, but then they cut it together by subject. So you'll hear little bits of the interviews out of order depending on the subject matter with music and everything, kind of NPR style.
Yeah, it's really nicely produced. So it's not just like cut and dry interviews, but it's like little clips, and we recorded conversations together, Corey and I, and then we recorded some solo pieces, and Corey edited it all together, so it sounds really good.
Yeah, I was proud to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And if you want to call us, people, you can call us at 650-485-DEAD. That's 650-485-3323.
You can email us at brains@podcastica.com.
You can find us on the web at podcastica.com or facebook.com/deadcast. And don't forget to check out fanfest.com and let me know what you think about that. It's pretty impressive. Next episode, Karen and David.
That's right.
So I'm going to be in London.
But you're going to appear as a special guest on the podcast
for about 20 seconds.
For about 20 seconds.
To do an ad read. Yeah.
Great.
But that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to listening to that one.
I'm looking forward to doing it.
All right. That's our show.
Thanks for listening.
Don't get bit. Lynn Cor-